In the century following the Mongols' vengeful attack on Moscow, Dmitry Donskoy's son and grandson clung to the Rus throne. Amid old rivalries and fragile alliances, Dmitry's great-grandson Ivan III set out to consolidate Moscow's control over all the Rus. But one independent republic would not yield to Moscow, the wealthy commercial center of Novgorod. While Ivan III consolidated Moscow's power, the Golden Horde was succumbing to discord. Seizing on this weakness, Ivan withheld tribute, equipped his men with firearms, and marched to meet the army of the Khan. On the banks of the Ugra River, the Rus stood defiant, prepared to contest over 200 years of Mongol dominance. The shadow of Mongol rule had darkened the Rus lands for more than 2 centuries. But now, Ivan III stood on the banks of the Ugra River, ready to cast off the shackles of the Golden Horde. But if he failed, Moscow itself could fall.
Что велите?
Дайте мне работу. Путь идти надобно. Служу, повинуюсь наказу. Я построю сие, як вы прикажете.
Приугода исполнено будет. Слушайте все.
Что надо, потрудитесь.
Ожидай, повинуюсь. Сие есть долг мой.
Наказ слушайте, навите трудник.
Что накажете?
Начинаю строить и сейчас. Сие построить скоро. Слушайте все. Я построю сие.
Готов, есим патруль. Люди, приготовишься. Начинаю строить и сейчас.
Слушайте все. Сие построю скоро.
Слушайте все. Я построю сие.
Although the Mongols had not launched an all-out assault, their position was strong and their numbers vast. Ivan knew that committing his own troops to an attack would result in heavy losses.
Не млите, ожидайте наказы. Строите надобно. Часона. Есть сон, есть отдохновение. Слушайте все, новые наказы суть. Доволен есть. Возведу все, яко прикажете. Готов, есим где. Слушайте все, сейчас наказы будут. Дали нам наказ, идти надобно. Сделано есть, надолго удержать. Ожидайте наказа. Есть сон, есть отдохновение.
Внемлите, ожидайте наказа. Начну сие немедля. Строите надобно. Слушайте все, новые наказы суть.
Добро есть, одно есть.
With eyes on the river crossings, reports quickly arrived of a Mongol detachment probing across the divide.
Наказывайте. Слушайте все, сейчас наказы будут.
Ожидаю наказов ислама.
Слушайте все, новые наказы суть. Блюду, аще построено будет исправно. Строите надобно.
Часо накажете. Приступаю на гамма. Возведу все, яко прикажете. Слушайте все, сейчас наказы будут. Строите надобно.
Не млите, ожидайте наказы.
Разумею.
Возведу все, яко прикажете.
The Mongols had allied with the Lithuanian king who had promised to send great numbers to assist the Khan at Ugra. As the horde waited, they would continue to probe the Rus encampment.
Приуготовляйтесь, братья мои.
Оружие готово. Приготовляйте оружие.
Наказывайтесь. Будет для меня...
Тихо, воины. Наказы новые суд.
Внемлите, ожидайте наказы.
Возведу все, як прикажете.
The Rus repelled the initial attacks, and the Mongols fell back to their side of the river. To hold the Ugra, Ivan would need to maintain a strong show of force at the river crossings. If he showed the slightest weakness, the horde would seize on it and swarm across the river, then on towards Moscow.
Слушайте все, древеса собирать надобно. Есть сон, есть вдохновение. Желание ваш, люди дали нам наказ, идти надобно. Возведу все, як приказ.
Вем дело свое. Несть сон, несть...
Слушайте, воины, наказы, но...
Слушайте все, сейчас.
Исполню наказ ваш.
Есть сон, есть. Слушайте все, новые. Внемлите, ожидайте наказы.
Возведу все, як прикажете.
Доволен есть. Всем дело свое.
While the Mongols awaited their Lithuanian allies, they continued to send raiding parties across the river, hoping to weaken Ivan's forces.
Буду радоваться с вами, сражайтесь тесно.
Честь в повиновении есть. Буду радоваться с вами, сражайтесь тесно.
Окружают меня! Побеждает исправный!
Наказы слушайте, воин.
Да не празднуйте, наказ слушайте!
Не млите, воины. Повинуюсь с честью. Немедленно наказ исполнил. Ватники, слушать наказ. Ватники, честь в повиновении есть.
Готов наказы слушать!
Так, наверх, мысли чертящие.
Кого стрелять не будете? Наказ, что накажете?
Ватники, готовы к натиску. Напрежь, не бойтесь. Напрежь, мысли чертящие. Ватники на враг устремляются.
Through perseverance and a mighty display of force, Ivan held the Ugra River, blocking the Mongols from reaching Moscow. The Rus had finally cast aside the shackles of the Golden Horde. While Ivan III consolidated Moscow's power, the Golden Horde was succumbing to discord. Seizing on this weakness, Ivan withheld tribute, equipped his men with firearms, and marched to meet the army of the Khan. On the banks of the Ugra River, the Rus stood defiant, prepared to contest over 200 years of Mongol dominance. From long, harsh winters to Mongol invasions, life for Muscovite peasants was tough. But they had one crop that was vital to their survival: rye. Moscow peasants relied on cereal crops more than any other food. To separate the grain from the straw, cereals had to be threshed with a flail. This tool could also be repurposed for battle.
When the Grand Prince called upon peasants to serve in the army, they would have become armed with their tools of the trade, their pitchforks and their pikes, but chief amongst their weapons would be the flail.
Farming crops in a land that was covered in snow for 6 months of the year was challenging. But rye was one crop that was particularly adapted to the extreme Moscow climate.
The thing about rye is it's incredibly hardy. If you can sow it in autumn, it'll grow through the winter months, even with a covering of snow on the ground. Now, Russia is famous for its long, cold winters, but it also gets very hot and dry summers, and it's in those drought conditions that rye also thrives. And it's for that reason that a majority of Moscow peasants were growing this stuff.
But they didn't get to keep all of their crop. The largest rye grains were given to the grand princes as tax, while the rest would be used to make bread, or malted to make a nourishing, non-alcoholic drink, kvass.
It's super easy to make
Yeah.
and cheap, really cheap. It's great for helping tired muscles recover, and it's just quite refreshing, and also helps control infections.
Muscovite soldiers drank kvass as part of their daily rations. It's made by first adding ground malted rye to boiling water. After cooling, yeast culture is added, causing the mixture to ferment. This kills off any germs in the water.
There you go.
Around 3 days later, the kvass is ready to drink.
The bubbles really start to come up now.
Yeah.
Just the yeast doing its work. На здоровье.
What are the special qualities of this drink, then?
It's essentially a probiotic drink. It has a lot of B vitamins, and it has lactic acid, which is great for recovering from hard labor. It's kind of an ideal sports drink, really.
And with rye so easy to grow, you can see how this was the sort of saviour, if you like, of the Moscow peasantry.
The hardiness and versatility of rye was a lifesaver to Muscovites, both for peasants at home and soldiers on campaign. In 1480,